Welcome aboard to this new video, a video where we've looked to decode ourselves, our channel, and why this podcast was supposed to exist. And this presentation that I'm showing is just solidifies what me and Rowan have said in episodes, that we're in a scripted reality. And just to show that this is the case, we've looked to decode our episodes and the name of the channel itself. So let's get started with the topics. So, firstly, as you can see, OccultPod, next, Astrology, next, the Esoteric Fall of Masculinity, and finally, Silviu on Decoding Reality. So let's get started with OccultPod. Why did I name this channel OccultPod? Let's find out. So, in numerology, the word OccultPod is the number 45, and in the string of the golden ratio, it appears at the 21st decimal digit. Now, what do we do with that 21? It's a direct match to Rowan, the co-host. Now, just to clarify, he didn't name this channel. It was me. It just so happens that it fits in with this guy. But wait, there's more to show, and you're gonna see how I am synced with this channel name. So what I decided to do was to go on the website and look at the colors that the logo of the channel contains, and it contains these 9 colors, and with colors they are represented in hexadecimal, which is a different number system. So if you look forward, you see this, it is quite long, but what it essentially shows you is that for each color you take its hexadecimal value, again being a different number system. What I did was that I changed this to our actual number system, and then take those numbers, put them in the calculator to reduce all the numbers down to its numeric value in Chaldean numerology. So you can see the first 6 and then the last 3. Now, what I decided to do was add all these numbers to get 288. And now what do we do with the 288? Let's go. So follow through from left to the center here. So 288 in the string of pi appears at the 33rd decimal digit, the 33 being a special number, as we know. Now I decided to look at the properties of 33, and we see that the 33rd prime number is 137. Now, where does 137 fit in pi? The numeric string 31 appears at the 137th decimal digit of pi, and 31 is a direct match to my name. You see? So, what this clearly shows you is that the logo that I picked for this channel was supposed to be shown by me. I was supposed to use this logo. Scripted reality. But one more think before we move on. Astrology is a direct match to my name, and funnily enough, we did an episode on astrology. So let's get to it. Astrology next. So, astrology is a match to 31. Now, what do we do with this 31? We go back to mathematics and see where it fits in pi. The numeric string 50 appears at the 31st decimal digit of pi. Now, the 50 is quite special because in our episode with astrology, our episode lasted for 50 minutes. I mean, come on now. You think this is an accident? You think we sat there using all these layers so that we could screw you over? No, of course not. We just sat there, planned an episode, and we looked to provide value and knowledge to the audience. But seeing this just goes to show this reality, is a script. Well, let's go. So, you may find this astrology part 1. Now, it was split into 2 parts because we was on Zoom and the limit was 40 minutes. So, sometimes I think you saw that the camera changed after a certain part of the episode if you watched it. But in yellow, you see highlighted that it was created on the 18th of October. Now, why is that important? Because, as you see on Wikipedia, it is the 291st day of the year. Again, 292 in leap years. But the key point to take is that it leaves 74 days remaining. Now, what do we do with the 74? Again, using mathematics, it appears at the 56th and 57th decimal digits of pi. Now, the 7 being in the 56th position and the 4 being in the 57th. When you add 56 and 57, you get 113. 113, a unique number. Now, what I'm about to show you now just solidifies everything. Because 113 is the 30th prime number, and it is a direct match to the guest we had on for astrology. Again, J.J. Dixon is a 30, and if you go back in the video and the thumbnail, astrology with J.J. Dixon. It's a script, undeniable. But let's move on to the next episode, the Esoteric 4 of Masculinity. So, we can see here, again, we created this. Well, I did actually, after we finished recording. The day that it was created was on the 25th of October. Again, we go to the calendar, and it falls on a day leaving 67 days left in the year. Now, what's crazy enough is, if you see how long the episode is for, it's 67 minutes long. Us three, me, Rowan, and Outlier, whose name's Kevin, we didn't have a choice. This episode was supposed to be 67 minutes on the 67th day of the year. We didn't plan this. I can clarify. Us three didn't sit down and thought, you know what, guys? Let's record an episode for 67 minutes on the day leaving 67 days left in the year. Let's just consciously do that. Absolutely not. We didn't do that. That's pretty ridiculous. But yeah, again, undeniable. Now, of course, I'm going to show the 15-second bit later. But let's continue. So, October 25th, or the 25th of October, being on a day leaving 67 days left in the year. 67 is the 19th prime number. And the guest we had on, again, his name is Kevin. It's a direct match to the guy's name. Undeniable at this point. But I don't have anything to say. But yeah, let's move on to the last one. Before that, actually, the 15. So we saw that the episode was 67 minutes and 15 seconds long, and what did we talk about? We talked about masculinity. Masculinity being a 32, and 32 appearing at the 15th decimal digit. Come on now. Now let's move to the last one. Silviu on decoding reality. And of course, this guy knows what it's all about. This guy knows it's a simulation. So let's get started. We recorded on the 8th of November, falling on the day leaving 53 days left in the year. The numeric string 20 appears at the 53rd decimal digit of pi, and that just so happens to directly match with his name. I mean, come on. At this point, it's beginning to be a joke. It's a joke, but at this point. You just gotta accept it at this point. What more can you do? You can't get angry at this. This is telling you the nature of the script. This is just showing you how whatever's running this reality has control over us. What everything we do is all predetermined. And once you figure that out, then you can get closer to figuring out your purpose, what your job is supposed to be in this reality. But yeah, man, it's crazy to see these findings. But the last of all, the episode, we're gonna look at the time length, and of course in minutes that is 107 minutes. If I've done the maths right, yes, 107 minutes, which in mathematics, using the prime numbers, it's the 28th prime number, and in the string of pi, the number 28 appears at the 33rd decimal digit. And we had a guest on who has the 33 in his channel. And I mean, come on. Like, at this point, it's crystal clear, you know. Combining every single bit of layer possible, numerology, mathematics, pi, phi, prime numbers, something like using the calendar, you know, the days we recorded, all these layers, avenues all connect with one another. You know, this is absolute support of the reality that we're in, and you know, it's just, what do you do with this? You look to be grateful, have gratitude, and live life to the fullest. So yeah, thanks for watching. It was, for me, I was not surprised by the findings, but it is something that we look to be grateful for the podcast of, you know. Would like to thank everyone that has supported our podcast so far, and you know, and because this is new stuff that is not been seen before by most people. You know, what we talk about and theories, and it's been a pleasure, and we'll be growing. This channel will grow, and like I said before in a previous episode, never stop growing. And yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.